Hello, I'm Michael Benson. I'm a member of the Sanctuary team, and I'm curating 4 of the discs that will be going to the surface of the moon within the next few years with the Sanctuary time capsule. And I'm here with
Jim Green, the former chief scientist of NASA during the time Sanctuary was proposed to NASA.
That's right. So I called you way back 3 years ago.
Yes.
COVID was hitting the world. We were kind of cooped up at home, and I wrote you an email saying, Jim, do you have any time to talk in the next few days? And you said, how about now? Because we were cooped up. And I proposed this project to you about Sanctuary, this lunar time capsule project. And what were your thoughts?
Oh, I thought it was a dynamite idea. When you think about that next step of being able to create a whole library of information where millions of people on this globe have contributed to our knowledge in astronomy and mathematics and history, and being able to select material from that describes what we've learned, what our culture is all about,
That's right.
And create a time capsule forever.
Right, and also cultural production. I mean, I'm curating 4 discs, as I said, and I'm determined to get a kind of a cargo of human genius in visual art, in literature, in architecture, in music, and other fields of endeavor, including the visual history, the history of our attempts to visualize the universe graphically, which I've done some work on with some books and so forth. And all of that together will work in the larger kind of symphony of all the content in Sanctuary, which will include the male and female human genome, which were distilled from data here in Canada, actually in British Columbia at the Michael Smith Human Genome Center. We're calling them genomenauts, a human recipe that will, we believe strongly that the synthetic sapphire of disks no bigger than this coaster will probably last on the lunar surface for hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of years. Synthetic sapphire, any kind of sapphire, is extremely hard. It's the 3rd hardest mineral. And so we have every reason to believe that the contents in Sanctuary will really endure.
That's fantastic. I mean, when you think about it, we are the first species on this planet that have the ability to leave and go to other solar system bodies. We're also the first species on this planet that recognize that we can become extinct. What fitting tribute we would have for our culture, our knowledge, to be preserved well beyond what humans may actually be able to live on this planet. And Sanctuary is that opportunity.
Yes. So I think that when Benoit Fabely, who's of course at the press conference that we were making this tape for, and he can speak for himself, but I'm absolutely sure that when he had this fantastic idea of Sanctuary years ago now, he was influenced in part by previous projects to get our some aspects of our culture and civilization out. So that's Pioneer and Voyager, both the Pioneer program and the Voyager program. Yes. Those are 4 spacecraft on interstellar trajectories. They're leaving the solar system. And they had, the famous plaque and the golden record and and that's very interesting and worthwhile. But because of our, technology we've developed now in the 21st century, we can have a lot more content in Sanctuary.
Right. It's very limited, the Pioneers and what the Voyagers did. Yeah. When you think about it, what could go on this disk these days are entire libraries of information.
Indeed.
And that capability to preserve what humanity has done, even at a level like a library, I think is so critical for preserving knowledge of humankind well into the future.
Yes. And there's one of the great figures in the history of spaceflight, Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, the great Russian spaceflight theorist who came up with key ideas that led to actual spaceflight, including multi-stage rocketry. And in fact, he cooked up the escape velocity, a very complex equation. But he was also a great philosopher and thinker, a futurist. And one of his statements really served as a kind of mission statement for the space age. And we're now in this second phase of the space age with the Artemis program going back to the moon. And the quote that really sticks in the mind from Konstantin Tsiolkovsky is, "Earth is the cradle of the mind, but humanity cannot remain in its cradle forever." And I think Sanctuary is a fantastic realization of this idea. We are leaving the cradle with our brains, our imaginations, our technology, and our legacy of creative achievement.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I can't wait for it to be on the moon.
So anyway, greetings to you in Paris, and we believe within 3 years or so we're going to be, looking at a countdown. We're anticipating a countdown to take Sanctuary to the moon. So thank you for listening. All systems appear to be go, to use a cliche, and thanks a lot for coming out.
Thank you.